All right, so here we are back with part two. The body butter is all melted, and then what I did was once it was melted, I stuck it in the freezer for about 20 minutes. So let me see if I can bring you in here so you can see. This is what it looks like. And so you see that kind of trace around there? That's what putting it in the freezer will do. And I just find that it whips up better that way. So now we're going to add our oil. So I like to use most lavender for scent. Grab our spoon here. So this is where it gets a little tricky. It's very difficult to say how much I'm adding because it takes this stuff a while to come out. I'm getting some in the spoon. Not a lot. Sometimes I just, put it all the way in this. That's what I think I'm going to do. So I don't know how many drops of this I'm using. And then next up, some eucalyptus. It's coming out a lot better, the eucalyptus is. And some lemongrass. This is the strongest scent, I do realize that, so a little bit lighter. And then once I start kind of whipping it up, I do like a smell test and see what's going on. But being all around all this fragrance, it's difficult to tell because, I'm smelling fragrance. But so it should whip up in minutes. Sometimes if it doesn't whip up fast enough, I stick it back in the freezer, but so I'm smelling it. It still doesn't seem quite as fragrant as I would like. Looking for my spoon. There we go. But this trace, this thickness here is essentially what we want and what the freezer kind of helps it to do. You see how it's staying on the spoon. So we want to encourage this kind of trace. Might be getting going, let's see. I have to tell you, I am impatient, so I think I'm gonna stick this back in the freezer for a little bit. And so while that's in the freezer, I got this little cake decorating kit. And it's my first time using it. So it took me a while to figure this out. But typically what I do is I just grab a Ziploc bag and snip the corner of it, fill it up with the whipped shea butter, and then use a Ziploc bag. So you absolutely do not need to make any additional purchases. I just basically got tired of, wasting a lot of Ziploc bags. So I went ahead and got this kit, and it was maybe like $12 on Amazon, and it's got a variety of different tips. But it makes it easier to kind of pipe it into the containers here. Also bought these containers. I've got different size ones. These are the ones that we typically use at the house. And here's one that we are had the label and stuff on it that I washed out. And this size right here, smaller size, is 4 ounces, and it's perfect for a travel size. It's also perfect gift size. And so last Christmas, I actually had made probably about 10 of these jars to give out as Christmas gifts of the whipped body butter. So I'm not quite sure how much. I'm thinking we definitely can fill up 2 of these, and ideally kind of 1 or 2 of these. If I have more, all the better, because we really do kind of go through this stuff. As I said before, it's really gotten us away from our Vaseline addiction. So I'm super excited to try to use this for the first time. Now, some people don't put the whipped shea butter in the freezer to make it stiffen up and get to trace a little quicker. Some people don't even melt the butters on the stove. They just kind of immediately start whipping it up. I have not tried either one of those methods. I found this one that works, and it works for me. And so that's the one that I use. So when I was smelling it, it did smell really, really kind of light. So I think when I get it out of the freezer, I'm definitely going to add some more fragrance to it, probably add some more lavender and eucalyptus. I like the lemongrass because, during this season, starting to have those bugs and insects waking up for outside, so mosquitoes and things like that. These are really good essential oils for repelling mosquitoes. And so if you can have something that smells nice and also does not attract but repels mosquitoes, that's even better. I'm still debating on whether or not I am going to add some neem oil to this. It's cool because it also works as a repellent. Maybe not, though. I think we're just going to stick with this. So it's in the freezer, hopefully building up more to trace so that it will make it easier to kind of whip up once I start. I also have seen where they use one of those kind of single stick blenders, and I have one, but making this whipped shea butter actually broke it. It was a pretty cheap one anyway, so I returned to the old standby, just a hand mixer, and it works really well, especially since it's used to dealing with thicker substances like batters and things like that. So again, you don't need this to be an expensive process. You buy the different oils and butters. Again, I buy them in bulk. At some point, I'm going to do the math or figure out how many jars or ounces a big thing of shea butter or coconut oil will net or make. So it is a simple process. It is, very, I don't know, kind of like invigorating when you're getting closer to the products that you use on your body and making them. I've also made a hair oil, and it's kind of based on the brand of oil that I liked. I liked that kind of Jamaican one, the Jamaican mango and lime. And so I really like that. I started off looking at what ingredients were in it. And so I made my own kind of all natural, healthier version of that. And most of the ingredients are very, very similar to what we're using here. And so it looks the same. It actually is a little bit thicker than that. And so it stays and coats a little better. So when you make your own products, then you also are in control of not just what is going on your body and in your system, but you also can customize it specifically to what your body and your system might need. So I tend to have dry skin, and so I know that maybe I need to do a little heavier of this one oil and not another. So that's one of the important things about it. We're going to get this out and we're going to try it, see if it's up to trace. Oh, I almost dropped it, but it's definitely solid. Oh man, I'm spilling stuff. All right, let's get this whipped up. Almost re-solidified in there. It's definitely going to whip up. It's going to whip up pretty quickly. So let me get some of this from around the sides here. Whoa, oh man, it for sure is like re-solidifying. So we definitely want to whip this up. We'll put some more, I'm going to say more lavender since it's the hardest one to get out of here. A little more lavender, a little more eucalyptus. Oh, why not? A little more lemongrass. Just more of everything. All right, let's do it. Definitely whipping up really fast. Right now, it's kind of the consistency of a cake batter. I wanted the consistency of very light, fluffy whipped cream. get some of this from around the side in there. Get it all incorporated. So it's kind of the consistency of it right now. It's the best part of this process. All right. So when you really start seeing it kind of peak up, and I wish you could, maybe you could see it a little more there. So it's really starting to kind of peak up. Always scrape the sides to incorporate. So last bit. Really start seeing it kind of peaking up in mounds. And just getting more and more fluffy. So there you go. You wanted the consistency of like a frosting. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's a little dark here. Let's see. Give us better light or something. There we go. All right. So you can see again, here's the consistency. All right, so let's get my mess mopped up. All right, so again, this is, we'll reuse one of these. It's my first time using this thing, so and basically what I like to do to make it a little bit easier is to take a tall cup and put that in there so I can spoon this in. There we go. And you see the consistency of it? It's pretty stiff. So we just spoon it on in there. All right, let's test this out. Gotta get all the way down in there. Here we go. You can't see that. How can I raise you up? There we go. All right, here's our test run. Let's turn that so you can see. Survey says it's doing it. So if any of you have received one of these from me, you get to see all of the love that goes into the process. Wow, this is taking a lot, which is awesome. There we go. Whipped shea butter. All right. So we've got one jar. Let's fill up another one of these. Same process. See if I can get this opened up. Don't be afraid to get it all on you. Glides on so smooth. And also nice for the hair. I don't even know why, when I know I'm going to make these, that I even bother putting any on after the shower, because I always end up with so much on me that I end up, I'll even like raise my pants legs up. So it's also good to know that basically one of these full kind of cake bags corresponds to one of these 8-ounce jars. So All right. Oh. Excuse me. Oh. Trying to get a steady pressure. There we go. I do like the one thing about these cake bags is they're a bit more resilient, I want to say, than Ziploc bags, because, and saying that now, but hopefully it won't do. I mean, it's meant to hold stuff like this, so. And specifically meant to be used in this manner. Excuse me. There we go. All right, 2 jars. And I do want to do a smaller gift jar for a wonderful new friend who dropped off some amazing pulled pork that she made, Olivia made, with homemade barbecue sauce. So as a thank you. Now it's time to grease up the legs. Nothing's going to waste here. So I think it looks like we get, with those numbers, we get about 3 full cake bags of this. Trying to get it all out of there, every bit. I mean, the way when I'm running out that I'm scraping that container, trying to get the last bit, that's what I think of when I'm scraping this container. Like, this would be enough to grease up your leg or something like that. So, and anything where you have to kind of put your own labor into it, you gain a lot more appreciation for it and don't want to waste it. I used to look at YouTubers doing this and I'm like, come on, let it go. But when you start making it and you realizing how much is on that spoon and how that corresponds to how much of your body this can cover, you be scraping it too. I mean, we got it as clean as possible. And I still even want to go and rub what's left in that container over my body. Other leg. All right, so I'm gonna do this one and we probably will have enough left for another one of these. Clean some stuff up. All right, here we go. Come on. Feel like it's got like an air bubble or something in there. No. There we go. That's that air bubble that I felt in there, that resistance. I might just have to do 2 of these smaller ones. That's a little better. Yeah, let's do 2 smaller ones. That way I can gift them. And I think the great thing about these bags too is that they're reusable. That's one of the reasons why I really wanted this. This one. Go. Filling them all up. Good to the last bit. Yeah. So I said that I was making, I think, 20 ounces. And that's what we have exactly. Exactly. These are 8-ounce jars. So that's 16. And then these are 4-ounce jars. So 24 ounces then, right? 16 plus 4 is 20. And plus another 4. 24 ounces. So there you have it. Whipped shea butter. Okay, so if you have any other questions, or if you have any questions, go ahead and post them. And yeah, I look forward to doing some more of these things, sheltering in with Shelly, we can call it, as a sub-segment of Dapperista DIY and more. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay blessed.